Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant Bhaja Govindam, shloka number 6 to 10.
यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायो देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावच्चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः कस्य त्वं कः कुत आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्त्वं निश्चलतत्त्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः.
Having understood the importance of focusing our mind on the essential aspects of life, we should set that as our priority, he says. When you are a small child, you are lost in the toy world. When you are a young person, you are lost in the world pertaining to that level. Then when you are old, you are very much lost in your worries and anxieties. So when do you really set aside some time to think about the realities of life? So instead of postponing the inquiry into the realities of life or reality of life, you start questioning your life, he says. In verse number 8, he says you must start the inquiring process. He says, Kate kanta kaste putraha samsaroyama athiva vichitraha kasya tvam kaha kuta ayataha tattvam chintaya tadiha brataha. Very lovingly he addresses us as, brother, oh brother, please think about this, he says. He's almost, begging. He says, start the process of inquiry. Oh brother, reflect on the truth here, now, this moment, instead of postponing. Because next moment is not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. When we say, let's meet next week, we don't know whether we can meet next week. Like they say, Inshallah. Inshallah means God willing. It's a very beautiful sentence when they say Inshallah. God willing. The karma willing. We don't know what is in the karma. So we say yes, our intention is to meet. But then what kind of karmas we have done, what is there in the totality, we have no idea. So therefore, instead of postponing the inquiry into the self, do it right now. Somewhere in between, you got married and then you developed attachment to your spouse. Then you produce children, you got attachment to your children. And this attachment seems to supersede all other attachments. So therefore, he's asking us to question and understand, when did you come into this world? How were you born? From where did you come? Where are you going? You also come here and you have developed suddenly in between some attachment to your parents. You've had so many janmas in the past. All kinds of janmas. Not necessarily only human janma. We have had animal janmas maybe. So, we've had many different set of parents, siblings, environment. And when we were in that particular birth, probably we were terribly attached to that environment, to those set of people. Now, we have come into this, we get attached. The tendency of the mind is to get attached to the present environment, the present contacts. So therefore, he is asking us to question, inquire. Who is your wife? Who is your son? Extremely wondrous is this terrestrial attachment. How did you form this attachment? Now, you didn't come with it. Now you feel you cannot live without it. There was a time you did not have it. And then now that you have it, now you feel without it I cannot live. How is it that certain relationships, certain objects can arrest your freedom, can bind you? Question that is this. From where have you come? Where were you before you were in mother's womb? So from where have you come? Understand this. Oh brother, when you start deeply questioning, oh dear brother, reflect on this truth of life here now, in this present moment. The moment you question, you inquire, the undue value you have, set on certain things in life will start melting down. Unnecessary, exaggerated value we have for many things in life. All that will go away. The delusion will go. Another name for Bhaja Govindam we saw is what? Moha Mudghara. With powerful words, he uses these powerful mantras, shlokas, to beat us out of this delusion. We need this kind of a slap on our face. Wake up, man. Wake up to the reality. We take things for granted. करेंगे, देखेंगे, सोचेंगे, हो जाएगा. कब हो जाएगा? As if, we are going to live forever. We take things for granted. So he wants us to understand the emergency, urgency of getting into the inquiry of life. So he says, reflect. And to reflect, which is alone going to help you to break the bondage. See, nobody likes to be bound. Children also, when you tell children, sometimes I've seen back home in South India, children stand in the threshold, They stand on the threshold, entrance of the house, and that too they stand sometimes on one leg. The parents or elders will say, hey, don't stand on one leg, especially in the entrance. They don't like to be told. But then what they can do, they're small kids, so they'll stand on both the legs and they'll move away from the threshold. And after you turn that side, they will do like this, like that. And again they'll stand on one leg. But nobody likes to be told. Nobody likes to be controlled. Nobody likes to be in bondage. Because essentially, our self is free. It is never bound. It is ever free. One of the names of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is what? Achyutam. Achyuta means one who has never fallen. One who has never fallen from that state of freedom. One who is never bound. Even this bondage that we are feeling is our imagination. How can the limited, restricted world, finite world, bind the infinite? It's not possible. Adi Shankaracharya in Atma Bodha gives this example. It's like saying the clouds covering the sun. Can the clouds really cover the sun? Clouds cannot cover the sun. From the place where you are standing, in that angle, it appears as if the clouds are covering the sun. In fact, the very clouds are formed because of sun's heat. Isn't it? Due to the sun's heat, the water evaporates and the clouds are formed. And from your level, it appears as if the sun is completely covered by the clouds. Similarly, you are foolishly believing that you are bound. You are in such delusion. You are in such delusion because you never question. You never set aside some time to sit and think. Because if you, like for example, now between 11:30 and 12:30, we are sitting and studying. This time, between 11:30 and 12:30 in the morning, so many people are working in the office and each hour they are making money. I don't know how much they are making. 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh per hour. Pata nahi kitna. Now, you are sitting and studying. You are going to miss that 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 1 crore, whatever that is. Right? So, everybody is running, everybody is accumulating, everybody is acquiring. I am sitting and thinking, how is it going to help me? Why can't I do all this later on after having acquired enough? That's the question. When is enough enough? We have this in our mind, no? When I have acquired enough, then I will sit and inquire. When do you think enough will be enough? And also we are taking time for granted. As if when you have earned enough, assuming that sometime in life you will earn enough. Having earned enough, your body will also be cooperating, your mind will cooperate for you to sit and question, analyze. Why are we taking this for granted? That's the delusion. So without questioning, we are just running. Either we are running after or we are running away. Nobody really stops and questions, ponders. So therefore he says, you must stop and question. And do this inquiry with the help of Shastra. Do this inquiry with the help of a Guru. Do this inquiry with the help of co-sadhaks. That is very helpful. Supposing you have taken New Year resolution that, I will go to the gym every day. And first day onwards you will go. So you will enroll and you go there, first day, you're so pumped up. And they also, play all those kinds of musics. And you're pumped up, you're doing 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Then you're finding it difficult to get up and say, but somehow you manage to get up and go to the gym. Once you are there, with that environment being very supportive, you will start doing some exercise. If you had some friends who are also interested, and you say, hey, you guys come and pick me up. Like I know one person here, he had a personal trainer. And he'll say 6:30, the personal trainer will be there by 6:20, this fellow is sleeping. That fellow wakes him up and makes him do. At least by 6:45 they'll start, So the company helps. And when we say company of somebody who is higher vision. Because the idea is to broaden our perspective. My wife, my children, my house, my family, my company, my this thing, my class. I will not come to other class. In that class, I don't know anybody. How can I come? I don't know anybody. These people, I know them for so many years. Our mind is so, narrow. It has to be broadened. We say to, sage Vyasa, when we do Vyasa Vandanam, we say, Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe. We say, Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe. The buddhi has to broaden. Why should it be narrow? So, anyone or any situation or any object, any being that will help us to broaden our buddhi, deepen our thinking, that is called satsang. Please understand this. Therefore, in the next shloka, he emphasizes on the satsang which will help you to get to that freedom. Because your essential self is free. But today, you feel that bondage. Now, I am bound by my environment, my parents, my society, my own body also. How do I come out of all this bondage? Through inquiry. For that, how do I start the process? Which he beautifully emphasizes. See, the whole idea in Advaita philosophy is, or Advaita Darshana is, that you are the truth, the reality. Infinite is only one. There cannot be two different infinities. Infinite is only one. And that infinite includes everything. So there is nothing that is not included in that. So you are that infinite. But due to ignorance of that nature, you are imagining yourself to be this limited individual. So that is why you are in certain bondage. So to break that bondage, you need to gain the knowledge. Knowledge alone will make you become free. And when we say knowledge, we don't mean knowledge that is got from external source. Knowledge that is got from external source is probably the beginning stage. Then you have to sit and do the inquiry. Then you will remove all the delusion, then the truth reveals itself. Since you are the truth, you cannot attain the truth. It is not far away from you. When truth is everywhere and you are not going to attain it. You have to remove the obstacles that is making you realize it here and now. And that removal of obstacles is through questioning. And that is what is going to give you the true knowledge which will eliminate the ignorance. Therefore, start spending time, give importance to it. And that is what he says in sloka number 9. How do you start? How do you start the process of rising to that height of liberation? So this verse number 9 is a very oft quoted sloka. It talks about the ladder of rise. How to rise to that supreme self. How to rise to that state of liberation. How to realize that I am free. That process he talks about in verse number 9. Yes, Viniti, you have a question? No, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry. Guruji, when you talk about bondage, what kind of bondage are we talking about? What do we start thinking that how are we bonded?
You think you are a woman, and because of the thinking, so many restrictions you bring upon yourself. You think you are this body, and because of that you go through so many restrictions. You think you are this mind, because of that you feel so many restrictions. Isn't it? At the body level, at the mind level, at the intellect level, at all levels, we are bound. And that...
What kind of restrictions are we talking about? Because these are labels, these are infinite labels we are living with.
Which infinite label?
Labels, right? That I'm a woman, I'm a Hindu, I'm a body. These are all, like you said, labels, right?
So that brings certain restrictions in your functioning, right? So that restrictions in your functioning is because of your thinking. You are bound by your own body. You are limited by your body. Then whatever happens to your body happens to you. When you think you are the body, then the moment you think you are the body, now during this summertime here, when the temperature is rising, you go through suffering. Then when the winter comes and when the temperature goes down, oh my God, terribly cold, terribly cold. You are bound by that heat and cold. You are bound by pleasure and... Pardon?
We are not suffering because if there is summer...
You are suffering. If somebody says, stupid, if somebody tells you, Viniti, stupid you are, it is their perception of your buddhi. They think your buddhi is so limited and you are stupid. It is their perception. But since you identify yourself with that buddhi, and you say, hi, how can they call me stupid? You take it so much offense you take of that, and then what do you do?
There is no bondage here.
Hey,
if
please.
somebody is abusing
Yeah, listen to me now, fully listen to me. So the moment when people say you are stupid, why is it going and affecting you? That affectation is bondage. If it doesn't affect you, it's okay.
Because I'm identifying with it.
Exactly.
I'm identifying
All
with
Indians are idiots, somebody says that. Okay. You have identified with India, right? You therefore become so terribly affected. You have to give the person a response. You give that person a response without getting affected. But the moment, how can they talk about Indians like that? That is because you become attached. You understand? Tomorrow, if, just for argument's sake I'm saying, see, like in West Germany and East Germany, once upon a time they were separate. right? We were West Germans, we are West Germans, we are East Germans. West Germany will side with America, East Germany will side with USSR. And then if the Olympics is happening in USSR, East Germany will go, West Germany will not go. America will not go. They will not participate. And then if the Olympics is happening in America, West Germany will go, East Germany will not go. Now, they have broken the Berlin Wall. Now it's become one Germany again. Now, they don't say, I am West German, East German, I am German. These are all for certain purposes we have done it. It's okay. You understand that. But if you allow that to limit you and allow that to make you get agitated, affected, that shows that you are bound. In the class, 1 minute. In the class, now if I am answering to you, if I say, are you getting it? Now, whom am I answering to? So there are different people sitting in the class. So I say, okay, this person, we will give this name. Or somebody has given this name. You are Viniti. You are Krishna. You are Ashu. You are X. You are Y. You understand? So then, that's a name that is given for transaction purpose. Like if I am writing a letter to you particularly, and let's say in your building, there is one Viniti Chopra, there is one Viniti Gupta, then you are Viniti Agarwal. So it has to come to you. That letter is addressed to you. So therefore I write Viniti Agarwal. Then it will come to you. Otherwise, if I just write Viniti, it can go to anybody. Right? So therefore, the name is given for transactional purpose. Wealth is for transactional purpose. Right? X amount of money. So if your X amount of money comes to the stage of 10 lakhs, you are called as millionaire. You reach the millionaire group. And all this, it's for transactional purpose. All these are there. But if you get so much attached to that, then anything happens to that happens to you. That means you are bound. When something happens to your body, you understand that it is only happening to the body and not to me, and you don't get affected by that. You do the right actions to take care of the body, then you are not bound. But is that what is happening today? That is not what is happening. You understand? That is what we call as bondage. At every level, we have tremendous bondage in the areas where we are attached.
So anything which bothers us, we should sit and think about it and sort it out.
Yes. But the problem is when you are in when something is bothering you so much, you are not in the right frame of mind to go and sit and analyze. You will not be able to analyze. Because when you are affected, sometimes you are blaming the world. You are saying my suffering is clearly because of my father-in-law, mother-in-law, husband, wife, children, neighbor, politicians. You are now so much convinced and you are affected. If you sit and do the analysis, you will somehow do the analysis to bring the conclusion to point that the problem is because of that person only. So we say, that time you don't do the analysis.
Okay.
You want solution, first calm yourself down. Then do the analysis. If you go and sit with the Guru and you tell the Guru to analyze, he will be able to analyze, she will be able to analyze. Otherwise, that time sometimes you make mistakes. We, in the name of analysis, we somehow want to prove that we are right. Like Arjuna did in the first chapter. First chapter, Arjuna is trying to argue that the stance he has taken to run away from the battlefield is correct. All kinds of logics and reasons he is giving to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna just kept quiet. So you understand, that is the bondage. You allow your sex to bring certain restrictions upon yourself and go through affectation, that is bondage. You allow your body to bring about that restrictions, suffering, it's bondage. Same thing with reference to your mind, intellect, everything, environment. Okay, due to your karma, you are born in a certain environment. And in Delhi, see, for example, when we completed the study with Swamiji, completed in the sense, lifelong study, there is no such thing as completed. What I'm talking about is a 3 years course in the academy. When we study with the Guru for 3 years, and then after some of us who have decided to do this full time, because it gives us an opportunity. I'm going to conduct classes, I need to sit and study, reflect, because I know there are so many Vinitis in the class who will keep on questioning. You understand? So we need to study. So therefore we say, okay, chalo, we want to take this up. We have this nature also supporting Swadharma. So we say, okay, chalo, we'll do this full time. And then somebody is teaching in some other city. So like that, for whatever reasons, I'm here now in Delhi. In Delhi, when I'm here, weather is like this. Dust pollution, weather, so many things. There are good things also, bad things also. Everywhere it is there. Everywhere it is there. Right? Now why should I allow this environment to bind me? Why should I allow the environment to restrict my activities? The way of me, the way I function? Are you with me?
Yes.
So that is called bondage. And that I will not break unless and until I question. I question properly.
To Guruji, not to ourselves.
Pardon?
We should question to Guruji, not to ourselves.
No, it's not question to Guruji. What it means is, you question when you are calm. When you go to the Guru, you have that confidence that the Guru will give you solution. It's as good as I've got the solution. Your mind becomes calm. Then the Guru will explain to you properly, or firstly, if he or she thinks that you are not calm enough to get the solution right, he will give you other things. You do that and come, he'll say. When you've become calm, then he'll explain. In fact, that's how they've designed. Initially you do karma yoga, lot of rituals and everything. You function in the world in the spirit of unselfishness. Then your mind becomes relatively calm. Then you get on to this kind of inquiry, deeper inquiry. Otherwise, you will make mistakes. You will try to justify your stance. So actually, it's not that you put the question to Guru, if that's what you meant by saying question to Guruji. It's not put the question to Guruji. You are putting the question to yourself only. But through the Guru, in that case. That's all. Guru will explain, but you have to go back and sit and reflect. You get it? So, therefore he says, satsang will be helpful to rise. You can only get liberation through knowledge. And that knowledge, for you to quicken the process, you got to quicken the process if you have the satsang. So, let's get on to shloka number 9.
Satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan muktihi.
Jivan muktihi. Jivan muktihi means liberation while you are alive. There is another school of thought which says Vivideha Muktihi, attaining liberation after giving up this body. Now Adi Shankara says, if liberation is possible only after giving up this body, then all the knowledge that we have so far gained from all the teachers, all the Shastric knowledge will all be second hand. Isn't it? The person is dead, meaning given up the body, then liberated. Who's written all this? So therefore, it is very much possible to be liberated while living, which is what I was explaining to you. While living in the environment, the problems continuing, problems in the sense heat, cold, pleasure, pain, honor, dishonor, censure, praise, all these are continuing. During Sri Krishna time, there was Shishupala who was hurling abuses at him. You understand? So therefore, while you are facing those situations, while you are going through such prarabdha, can you be free of it or not? Vedanta says you can be free if you have the knowledge, if you are established in the knowledge. So what do you have to do to get established in the knowledge. That's the idea. Because without this knowledge, we have different kind of conviction. See, deep inside what my conviction is, accordingly I will have my perceptions, ideas, actions, everything. Isn't it? If I am convinced that it is only possible to make money through shortcut and nothing wrong in it, I will do all my actions accordingly. I will always choose to go into the shortcut route. I don't care how much harm it causes to others. Because I am acting on my conviction, isn't it? Are you getting it? So therefore, I need to probe and see what my convictions are, what my knowledge. That is what is driving me. Something is there. So when I am deluded, I am having wrong understanding. With wrong understanding, I will have different kind of a value system. Then I will be attached to those things. So I need to break the attachment. I need to break the delusion. I need to break my conviction and form the right convictions. So because of this wrong thinking, where I start believing that I am this individual, Vedanta says, you are that infinite. You do not know that you are infinite today. So you believe yourself to be this limited individual. And because of this belief, you imagine a lacuna. And due to this imaginary lacuna, your thoughts are running towards the world outside, to the objects of this world. And when the thoughts are running towards the world outside, you start developing attachment. Verse 62 and 63 of chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita talks about this. That is called as ladder of fall. That is called as ladder of fall. What we are seeing now is ladder of rise. So, there he says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate. When the mind muses over the sense objects, it starts developing attachment. So why, first of all, the thoughts are running after the world? Because I deeply believe that I am this individual Lakshmi Narayanan with this height, this weight, having these restrictions. So to protect myself, I need all this. These are my thoughts. These are my convictions. So what am I doing? I am allowing my thoughts to run outside in the world, get as much as possible, and think that will bring me protection, safety, security. Isn't it? Therefore, my mind runs to the world outside. When my mind runs to the world outside, it starts developing attachment. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. From attachment comes what? Kama, desire. Desire means now I cannot live without it. Kamat krodot bijay. Anybody comes in between and obstructs you from getting that object, you get angry. And when you are angry, you are deluded. Krodat bhavati sammoha. Meaning you get completely rooted. The delusion becomes even more strong. Sammohat smriti vibramaha. Whatever you studied in the class, whatever memory you had, all intelligence gone. Smriti bramshat buddhinashaha. Intellect is completely gone. Buddhinashat pranashyati. Once the buddhi intellect is gone, it's a total loss. That's how you fall, he says. So now he says, how do you rise? To rise, the first step is what? Have good company, he says. Satsangatve nissangatvam. You want to come out of attachment to the world, you must have company of good people, good things around, good situation, everything, anything that helps you to develop that broad mind, anything that helps you to probe into the realities of life deeply, that is good for you. You understand? It is not necessarily the people or books alone. Of course, he is referring to that. But that's not the only thing. What kind of food? Supposing you eat certain food, it keeps you always in sleep. Then it's not conducive for inquiry. It used to happen when in certain place I used to do these classes. For some reasons the class timing was 8:30 to 10 in the night. I don't generally like to eat before going to my class. So I don't eat. 10 o'clock, then sometimes question answer and all that. By the time they let me free, 10:30. By the time I go and eat, 11 o'clock in the night. And it was too much, And also in the class, some people, they've eaten and come. Nice AC room, we used to have the class. The AC draft is sitting on their head. And then the food that they've eaten is curd rice with potato fry. Both will nicely secrete serotonin in your stomach. And the AC draft is hitting your head. And then I am chanting, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam. Those fellows are already half asleep. Some people start snoring also. I start losing confidence. Am I such a bad teacher that as I'm starting, people start falling off to sleep, man? So, therefore, you got to choose the food that is conducive to keep you alert, to inquire. Everything is satsang. You say satsang is not just good company at one level, at all levels. Of course, like I said, good company means Guru, Shastra, the co-sadhaks, those who have this mukshatva, those who want to liberate, those who have given this, those who have set this as their priority. All that is satsang, no doubt. But everything, at all levels, it should be good company. The place where I am sitting to do the inquiry should be conducive for my inquiry. For that matter, anything that I want to do, that place should be conducive to do that work. Na? How can I sit and do the inquiry where there is too much noise and sound is going on? If I am developed that much, then it doesn't matter. But I am in the beginning stage. So therefore, it is satsangatve. And also I told you, the ladder of fall when we discussed, now, your thoughts are running, that makes the senses go to the world outside, to the objects that it believes has joy in it, pleasure in it, or the objects and beings that can give security, protection, isn't it? Enjoyment. With that thought, the senses are running. So he says, now, all you need to do is, you must understand that every one of us, when we go through this life, from the time we wake up till the time we go to bed, we go through 3 transactions of life. They're called receipt of stimuli that we receive from the world outside through the senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. And then they go into the inner personality, the mind, and it reacts there. And then we send forth response back into the world through our buddhi, intellect. So these 3 transactions of life, they are called as receipt, reaction and response. It's like an industry. In an industry, a manufacturing industry, let's say they are manufacturing steel products. Now, they get the raw material from the world outside. And then it goes through the process of manufacturing in the company, in the factory. Then the finished product goes for sale. Isn't it? Now, when the raw material is received, if the raw material is 3rd grade, can they bring out 1st grade quality product? It's not possible. The raw material will also have to be 1st grade. Therefore, they say no, GI-GO. GI-GO means what? Garbage in, garbage out. If you are putting in garbage, what will come out only will be garbage. You understand? So you better put quality stuff. So you understand what is happening is, Already you are in delusion. Already there is confusion. And then on top of it, a lot of garbage is going through your senses because you are allowing yourself to live with no sense control, no direction, with all likes and dislikes. You go and simply indulge in all kinds of things because they give you instant pleasure. So when they go in, they only add to your delusion more and more. So therefore he says, what is already gone in, you can't do much. At least now what is going to go in, you can control, na? Once you understand all these things. So he says, satsang. The receipt you make sure is of good quality. You receive the knowledge from the Guru, which he gives from the Shastra and explains step by step to you with the co-sadhaks around you. You understand? Keeping the discipline at all levels, at the body level, mind level, keeping a proper, schedule. Then, this kind of approach if you have, what he calls as satsang. Satsang is not that you somehow go and sit in one class and then you say, I am in satsang. That is not, that is also satsang. But satsang means all this. So when the receipt is of the first grade, it goes inside. Now, and if you do that consistently, it will now make you question. Already I am having this kind of belief. Now they are saying something else. You start questioning. You start reacting with it. And then, slowly in the mind, whatever attachments are there, slowly you begin to see, yeah, correct only. Before I was born, I had no attachment to my parents. I don't even know who my parents are. First of all, I don't know where I was. I've come in between, developed attachments. While I need to be grateful to them, when I need to do duty to them, all that is fine. But why should I get attached? Similarly, with my wife, with my children, with my own body, with my own mind, intellect, everything. Once I start thinking with the new information that is coming in, then my mind is slowly losing the attachment. That exaggerated value, the delusion starts losing. That's what he calls by saying, satsangatve nissangatvam. Nissanga means detachment. You lose the attachment or it starts weakening. Nissangatve nirmohatvam. That exaggerated value that you had kept for that object at your intellect level, because of which you are sending forth certain responses through the buddhi, that will go. Nirmohatve nischala tattvam. Means what? You will start becoming steady in the process of inquiry, in the knowledge. You will start getting rooted in it. That is needed. See, till we get rooted, we can easily be shaken. We need to be completely rooted in the knowledge. Again, in the second chapter, the Sthita Prajna portion, he says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Beautifully, Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, the sense objects turn away from an abstinent man. But not the rasa. The rasa lingers. The rasa also lives upon seeing the Supreme. He says, when you determine and start leading a certain spiritual life, unnecessary temptations won't come in your way. Now people start calling me on certain days. Hey, this day this fellow will not come. He has class. He's not going to come. Even the other days he'll give some excuse for these things he will not come. So they know that. They don't call me only. Unnecessarily wasting one invitation, sending to this fellow. So, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha. The moment you abstain, the sense objects don't come and trouble you. But inside, the rasa is there. Rasa means that, essence.
Craving.
The cravings, all that is there.
Yeah.
The left, that vasana is there. Then he says, Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Upon seeing the Supreme, once I have reached that, then the rasa goes. Then it cannot tempt me. You understand? So till I reach that state where I become completely liberated, I have to continue steadfastly. Therefore he says, satsangatve nissangatvam. Nissangatve nirmohatvam. Nirmohatve nischalatatvam. It's not enough if you just once in a while question. We don't understand the power of Maya, the power of senses. It finishes off. Then you yourself get frustrated. So many years I am studying. In spite of it I have done that. फिर भी गुस्सा आ रहा है. क्यों आ रहा है? You get so agitated. You start judging yourself. What does it show? If gussa is coming means, what does it show? You have to get more and more established in knowledge. You have to continue. You have to continue. You have to continue. So therefore he says, first take care of the receipts. All the time you are putting in all kinds of thoughts. We don't understand how it is conditioning us. See, YouTube we say is free. Is it really free? It's free in the sense you don't pay for it, except you've paid for your broadband or something. And that too, if you are sitting in somebody else's house, they have paid for the broadband. You've just connected to their Wi-Fi. You simply browse YouTube. Now, how much time we are going on consuming unmindfully? Isn't it? And you are not paying any paisa, but you are paying by time. And all those are going inside and they are clouding your thinking. You are not really sitting and thinking and consuming it. Are you? Just like that, you are going on consuming. Especially nowadays, so much of consumption is going on. Everybody you see in the metro, when they are going, most of the people are consuming through these medias. Sitting and consuming all the time. So when this goes in, what will it do? It will cloud our thinking so much that we won't even have such questions in our head. So, what is the problem here? Why these fellows are going on talking about this so much? I am Lakshmi Narayan. I am Viniti. I am a man. I am a woman. इसमें क्या problem है इनका? अरे यार पता नहीं क्या है इनका problem. It's like that. You will start so much conditioned you are. You will not even be able to inquire. It will become so obvious. Is there this obvious way? What? It's so obvious. And these people want to think about this. We have to be more careful with things that are obvious. This kind of, already we have formed certain knowledge, no? We have to be more careful. So satsang is that company which will challenge you to question your obvious. See, good company need not necessarily be comfortable company. That's why it's not easy to live with your guru. Easy in the sense, he's not a terrible person, he or she. You understand? But then, the guru is only interested in waking you up. Not to sing lullaby to you so that you continue in your sleep. So, when you live with your guru, he is going to give you punches here and there. His only interest is to wake you up. If he comes to the class tomorrow and he finds you still there, it's not going to give him happiness. Finds you in the sense, knows very well that till you realize you are not going to leave. So he knows you are still not woken up. He will be very agitated. He is not really agitated. He will not be happy, no? In a very light way I am saying. So he wants to nudge you here and there. Wake up, man. Going on, continuing like a good string. So he'll say, therefore he says, this moha has to be removed. How? Through questioning. And that will happen if you are in good company. That's why it's very, very essential. What kind of food you eat, what kind of objects you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, what kind of discussions you are having with people, what kind of books you read. Everything matters at all. Otherwise, 1 hour lecture you listen, one class you attend. One class you attend, 1 hour lecture you listen. And then you believe everything will change. And then you've been doing like this for 10 years. So 10 साल में class attend कर रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं हुआ. You should be worried or concerned if something happened, you think this way. 1 hour you will sit in a class once a week, and then that 1 hour in the class also, how many minutes you were there, I don't know. Your mind would have wandered somewhere. And then you expect things to change. Rest of the things that you are doing is same, or you are adding more and more all kinds of dussang to your personality. Then how will it help you? You understand? It's extremely important. It's extremely important. That's why he says, good company. It all starts with your senses, man. Because of your thoughts running, you allow the senses to go to the world, you develop attachment. So now, through the senses, you make sure you receive good stimuli. That's why they say you must gain knowledge along with sadhana. Entire day, dinacharyam. They say no, dinachara. What kind of day you have. You have a schedule. You should have enough rest also. If you did not have enough rest, how will you sit and inquire? You will obviously be tired. This is what is happening. We keep ourselves awake till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then we get up in the morning. And then we rush. And then somehow in the evening we come and sit in the satsang. It's not going to help. In the Bhagavad Gita, again in the 6th chapter, he says, meditation is not for the one who eats too much, nor for the one who eats too little. Meditation is not for the one who sleeps too much, nor for the one who sleeps too little. So you maintain satsang, good company, middle path. You understand? So good company need not necessarily be pleasant company. This you must understand. A lot of people say, what kind of a guru is he, man? He himself is getting agitated. He is not getting agitated. It's like this, When you have been diagnosed with 4th stage cancer. Let's say somebody is diagnosed with 4th stage cancer. The doctor is also very unhappy. At a very young age. But what can he do? He has to do whatever he is in the, medical procedures that he can do upon you. So he is explaining all this. And then you are asking, oh, does it mean that I can't eat pickle anymore? And then he said, hey, take this fellow out, man. He'll say, just take this fellow out. I'll talk to his family. And you say, this doctor, bada gussa aa raha hai. It's like that. Instead of understanding the emergency, you are asking all the frivolous things, So when the guru is little tough on you, you think he is agitated. It matters nothing for him or her. So therefore, good company, because a lot of people, good company means very nice company. This guru is very good. He is very soft. That guru is we start analyzing guru as if we know how to, analyze. That's the problem. Anything that helps us to wake up is good company. Anything that helps us to go off to sleep is bad company. If you really want to finish off somebody, keep on flattering that fellow. Nobody like you. You are the best. I have not seen anybody in my life. I don't think so anybody has ever seen. I don't think so anybody in future can see anybody like you. You are the best of the best. When you talk like this, that fellow will definitely destroy himself. The way, when you keep on flattering, we'll finish ourselves. This is what happens to King Lear. In King Lear's story, in Shakespeare's play, he had 3 daughters, King Lear. Goneril, Regan, Cordelia. On his 80th birthday, he wanted to split the kingdom and give it to all the three children. First two were married, but they were not at all interested in the father. They are very selfish. The third one is unmarried. She was genuinely interested in her father. So the first one he calls, says, Goneril, my child, what have you got to say on my birthday? He goes into raptures. She is not at all interested in that fellow. But she talks rubbish, praising him. All untruth. And he falls for that flattery. And he says, here is your 1/3. The second one comes and she goes into raptures again. He gives another 1/3 to her. Then he calls this third child who is not married, third daughter. Cordelia, my child, what have you got to say on my birthday? He thinks she'll come and talk, praising him. She talks plain and blunt words. She says, I owe, what is that word she uses? Loyalty. I owe my loyalty to you as well as to my husband to be. Before you even get married, you are talking about loyalty to your husband. You are banished. And he splits the kingdom into two halves and gives to the first two daughters. And says, I want these facilities that I will keep. They say, okay. And then slowly they remove all the facilities. Take away all the facilities. A fellow is roaming in his own kingdom like a mad fellow. Then it's the third daughter who was married to the French prince comes to his rescue, but both of them died. That's the story. He fell for the flattery. We all fall for these attractions, these delusions. So that's why little bit we should pull ourselves away from these things that are attracting us. Something is pleasure, na? ठीक है. I'm not trying to dismiss it, but I will not contact it right now. Having pulled yourself, what do? Give in to satsang. It may be a little difficult in the beginning. Going on, questioning, all these things. Nothing is happening immediately. Thoda bahut mushkil hai, difficult hai. Like they say in the gym, no pain, no gain. They say that. No pain means no gain. So there is pain in satsang. But that pain is going to make you strong. So satsangatve nissangatvam. Then you will think correctly, you will break the attachment, then you will form right convictions. Nirmoha will go. That exaggerated value you've kept for this world goes. When nirmoha for the world is gone, when the moha for the world is gone, then what? You'll be interested into study, think of these higher aspects more and more. You'll be looking into when you have moha, when you open the newspaper, you are more interested to know about politics, sports, this and that. That's all you are interested in. Then slowly you will see, okay, today where all satsang is happening. Then after some time, first thing you want to know where the satsangs are happening. Then you may a little bit here and there, because you are living in this world, you should know a little bit about politics, sports and everything. So you do that. You understand? That means what? Now the things are completely changing. Your priorities are changing. That's what he means by saying nirmoha. How do you know moha is gone? Priorities change. Initially, what was your priority? Now, what is your priority? Earlier, you were in moha. Now, the moha is gone. Nirmohatve, nischalatatvam. You are more interested in the higher knowledge. You want to consistently pursue that. You become more and more steadfast in the pursuit of this knowledge, which will give you liberation. Nirmohatve, nischalatatvam. Nischalatatve, jivan mukti. When you continue in it, then you attain Jivan Mukti. Then you attain liberation. Then you become free. Then you become free in the sense what? Thereafter you will continue in the same world only. Same world. It's not that after you come back from the class, you start your car and then you are going to your house. On the way, everybody will say, oh, Viniti is coming. Please give her way. Let's not make traffic jam. Viniti is coming from satsang. Nothing like that is going to happen. Same traffic jam is going to continue. Same heat is going to continue. Understand? Everything is going to be same. But the beautiful thing that you will notice now is, it is not affecting you anymore. The setup is not upsetting you anymore. People are still calling you names, but it is not affecting you anymore. Still, because of the weather change, fever, cold, everything comes and goes, it is not affecting you as much as it did in the past. You understand? You are hyper, the way you were so hyper before, it's not there now. Like William Wordsworth says in Ladomia poem, calm pleasures and majestic pain there abides. In heaven, meaning in the higher way of living, he says calm pleasures and majestic pains. You are calm in your pleasures and majestic in your pain. Because pleasure is also not permanent. Pain is also not permanent. Pleasure comes not to stay. Even this shall pass away. Another poem. So, you understand that. Then you will be calm in your pleasures, majestic in your pains. You won't allow them to disturb you, agitate you, affect you. You will continue peacefully. That is Jivan Mukta lifestyle. Meaning you continue. Then as per Prarabdha, things will happen. Because you have burnt your vasanas. Jivan Mukta means, one, we have luckily studied Tathobodha. We have Prarabdha vasanas, Sanchita vasanas and Agami. Sanchita means total. Right? From the total, that which is requiring immediate expression came out as this individual. Prarabdha. Then the momentum continues as per the Prarabdha. And once if your Prarabdha happened to be to take birth as a human being, then you can either increase or decrease your Sanchita. Right? So, Jivan Mukti means you have decreased the Sanchita. You have decreased it so much that you have completely eradicated it. All Sanchita gone. Thereafter what? As per your Prarabdha, you continue. You understand? As per your Prarabdha, you continue. And as per Prarabdha, many things may happen. There will be people spitting on you. There will be people praising you. You will be going through certain discomforts in your body. If you have never exercised and suddenly you started exercising after some time, obviously there may be some issues in your body. All that may be there. But let it be. It will be there on one side, you will be continuing on the other side. You understand? So therefore, Prarabdha may be there, but it cannot bind you. It cannot affect you anymore. You will be free. Nischala Tattve Jivan Muktihi. You attain Mukti while living, while being in the midst of your Prarabdha, midst of all these challenges, you will still be free. Nothing can affect you. Let's conclude now. Om Purnamada Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yadhyad Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami.